Since it was published in 1944, Freidrich Hayek's The Road to Serfdom has been one of the most influential works on the libertarian movement and the philosophy. Welcome to our series on the road to serfdom. Today we're breaking down Chapter 1, The Abandoned Road. A program whose basic thesis is not that the system of free enterprise for profit has failed in this generation, but that it has not yet been tried. Franklin Roosevelt. In the course of human history, one thing remains true. We always fail to place blame on our current situations, where it rightfully belongs, on ourselves. How could a system go wrong when you have had the best and the brightest working on a solution, and you know that they have the best intentions for the progress of our civilization? It is this planning that Hayek began to warn about in his first chapter. But to start, the book lays out the foundations of liberalism and individualism that built the Western democracies in Europe. For a time, the Western world had flourished under the 19th century ideals of free market capitalism. For the first time in history, individuals were allowed to flourish without a class system determining their futures. All the individual needed was an idea and the ambition needed to make that idea a reality. And most importantly, they had the right to have unique ideas. Perhaps the greatest achievement of unleashing the individual during this time was the increased pace of technological change. This led us to the foundations of the modern world we see today. However, Hayek notes that the improvements to the society would eventually lead to its undoing. People were more and more coming out of poverty and living lavish lifestyles compared to the generations before them. These innovating improvements brought about by the free market led many to believe that they could bring further improvements through planning or placing economic controls on the system. It was believed to be virtuous or noble to seek the effort to bring about further social improvement or social justice. These subtle changes soon required major system alterations to achieve the results that were intended, which naturally led to an impatience with the free market philosophies the society was built upon. The basic tenets of liberalism were slowly and then suddenly relinquished. New systems of socialism and market planning were implemented. Most notably, this idea of thought flourished in Germany. The new systems of planning were exported and adopted throughout Europe. Hayek went on to state that whether Hegel or Marx or List Schmoller, Sombart or Mannheim, a radical socialist or simple organization or planning less radical, everywhere we eagerly imported German ideas. We know now the path that Nazi Germany and Italy along with communist Russia would go towards: systems of oppression and complete government control, totalitarian states. But Hayek notes that prior to these states, Europe was not all that different in their march towards government planning. This lays out the foundations for the rest of his argument throughout the road to serfdom: the gradual turning away from the free market and individualism and towards socialist systems, which in turn led to the complete loss of the individual and the gain of the collective. In other words, the abandoned road. If you like this breakdown, please stick around and I'll throw a link to the next chapter in the series in the top left. And in the meantime, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I believe that our free market is worth saving, and we should restore our individual liberties. This video won't solve the problem, but if it can influence just one person, maybe we will help find the next Hayek.